finishing this book this morning with this coffee, and they even match. Alright guys, so this is day 5 of the Reading Rush vlog. It is only 22 minutes, which is the shortest one yet. I did finish The Boy in the Striped Pajamas by John Boyne. This was so sad. Like I said yesterday, it started off really slow and I wasn't into it as much, but it ended, I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars just because the beginning was a little bit too slow for my liking. But this just like broke my heart like I knew it would. And I actually just got done crying. Hopefully you can't tell, although I just told you. So I've been doing really good on the Reading Rush, knock on wood. I mean, this day 6 of 7, so you know. And I've read 6 of the 7 books that were on my TBR. So technically the last book is supposed to be Something Borrowed by Emily Giffin. It works for a lot of prompts, but I picked it up because it has a diamond ring and it has a clear diamond, and one of the prompts was to pick a book that has the color, or that is the color of your birthstone. I'm an April baby, so I am a diamond. That's why I picked a diamond ring, because I thought it would be really cute. Plus, it's a movie that I've seen that I like. But my friends want to do our next group read. So there's white on the cover, which is the color of diamond, but also diamonds can be pink, and there's a ton of pink on the cover. So I'm changing my last book to The Truth Beneath the Lies by Amanda Cersei. So this will be the book that is the color of my birthstone, or the color of diamonds, because there's, thank you Jelly Bean, there's tons of white on the cover right there, but there's also, it's very pink, and diamonds can be pink, I checked. So I actually already started this. I'm only like 2 chapters in, and I'm not at all sure what's going on, but I'm excited to find out. It's like a mystery thriller YA. I honestly don't know much about it. I just know it's my next group read, and since my friends are ready, we always put it off. We're always like, oh no, I'm not ready, I'm in the middle of something else. And I didn't want to be that one that was like, oh, well, can we wait till Monday because I'm in the middle of a reading rush. Plus, if I wait till Monday, I'll be on the road, and I don't know how much I'm going to get to read on the road. Typically, road trips, I'm the last to fall asleep between me and my husband, and the first to wake up, so I literally get like 0 sleep, or like just a couple of hours, and somehow it's enough for me on the road trip. So typically after my husband falls asleep, or when he's falling asleep and I'm not quite tired, I will read. Our last road trip, it was just a road trip, and we didn't like stop to see anyone. This time it's more of a trip to go see family. Week-long road trip. Last time I read 2.5 novels, mostly in the time that my husband was sleeping. So that's pretty cool. I feel like I should do good. But yeah, I'm switching Something Borrowed to The Truth Beneath the Lies by Amanda Cersei. Like I said, I've already read a couple chapters. This is the next read, and I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. This one will go back on my shelf unread. but that's okay. Onto my computer, I'm going to upload it onto YouTube, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to read some more. I got to chapter 4 today of The Truth Beneath the Lies by Amanda Cersei. So technically, I'm supposed to finish this book by, well, I have all day today and all day tomorrow. And I've been reading a book a day, so I feel like I can still do it. I am about to eat lunch, and then me and my hubby man have to go get our rental car, and when we come back, maybe I'll read. So far, I'm intrigued to read more and figure out what the mystery is. Like, both Betsy and Kayla are both very mysterious characters, and I am wondering how their stories connect, because as of right now, it seems like these are two completely different stories that have nothing to do with each other. So I'm very intrigued to finish this mystery. Alright, day 5 of the reading rush. Woo! I'm getting so dizzy because it's been a crazy reading rush week. So this is what I'm going to do to match my book cover. Okay, so to match my book cover, I'm doing this. Yep, because that kind of works. And she's wearing a white shirt, just like me. And I'm going to play with some filters and try and do this coloring. We'll see if it works out or not, because I'm still new to the editing game, but this is The Way You Make Me Feel by Maureen Go. This is another contemporary YA romance, and it gives you all the feels. So this was one that Michael and Amanda picked for our buddy read, and I was not excited. I was just like, this is not going to be fun, and I was going to hate this book. But I ended up absolutely loving it. It's a 5-star read. So it's about 2 girls who are enemies, and they really hate each other. They pull pranks on each other at school. So to make up for it, they both have to work on the food truck that her dad owns, and they kind of become friends. So it's enemies to friendship. And then there's some sweet romance that has nothing to do with the friendship aspect, but I completely love everything about this book. So if you want a fluffy, feel-good read, The Way You Make Me Feel by Maureen Go is a perfect choice. Hey guys, so I guess technically it's day 7. I think I'm just going to do day 6 and day 7 reading vlogs together. Most of The Truth Beneath the Lies last night by Amanda Cersei. So I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. The first half of the book, or the first good chunk of the book, is not the best. It feels like you're reading 2 separate stories, and her Amanda Cersei's writing is, it's good because she can write in such powerful and intriguing ways, but she writes in such 2 different styles, it feels like, that it almost feels disconnected as a book. But then you kind of find out the truth there's a big plot twist that would have given, this was going to be a 3-star book, but then there was this plot twist that just like blew my mind completely. So I gave it 4 stars. And I think that's a good rating for it. It's a YA thriller type of game. Type of book. YA thriller. And I'm learning that YA thrillers are not typically my jam. That I like adult thrillers because they're more harsh. They're better. I don't know how to explain it. But this was not a bad book. I don't think I'll be keeping it. I'll probably unhaul it when I do my next wrap up. I'll tell you what I read and tell you which ones I'm unhauling. But if you want just a interesting shocker, like you want to be shocked to your core by the ending, or maybe not quite the ending, but you want to be shocked to your core, get this. Because the plot twist is really good in there. I didn't see it coming. It was top notch. That was probably the best part, was the plot twist in here. And then today, I guess that means that I've read 7 books during the reading rush. What? And it's just now the beginning of day 7. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, I should go see what. So, the first one is a 5-star read, or was a 5-star read, but I wouldn't recommend it as much as I would recommend this one. So this one's by far the biggest recommendation. But this one I still enjoyed so much, and it's still 5 stars, and I would still recommend it. And that is Hunted by Megan Spooner. This is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast done right, okay? Like, I was so looking forward to reading A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and I read that. I'll link it up here somewhere. I think I read it during a 24-hour readathon, I believe. I don't know for sure. But there should be a video of it. If I can find it, I'll link it. And honestly, I was pretty disappointed with it. It was kind of boring, very light. I didn't love it. This, though, I went into Hunted thinking it's another Beauty and the Beast retelling, I'm going to hate it, blah. And I really wasn't excited for it. So I tried to knock it out of the park the first day of the reading rush, just so that I wouldn't have to worry about books that I wasn't interested in after the first day. So I went into this with like low expectations, and it freaking rocked. So there are parts of it that I typically don't like in books, but somehow it worked in Hunted. But like the gender norms for women versus men, I don't always love that, but in this book somehow. But Megan Spooner pulled off a great retelling of Beauty and the Beast. It read like a fairy tale, which I love. It had parts of action, but not a whole lot. It was more, I just think she did the fairy tale of Beauty and the Beast justice with this fairy tale-esque retelling. It really does read super easy, like a fairy tale, and you follow. Okay, so the big chapters are from Beauty's perspective, And then the smaller chapters are from Beast's perspective. You only get a couple pages from Beast's perspective. But it was really good. Like I said, the only thing that I didn't love was the, like, gender norms. Like, how they treat Beauty different because her dad taught her to hunt and her dad taught her to be a man or, like, manly, which I typically hate in books when you have the standard norms for each person or each, like, because I'm a female, I have to stay home and bake. You know, because you're a male, you have to go out and hunt and do all the manly things while I sit at home and do all the women things. But in some situations, that works. Like when it's a big part of the plot. And I wouldn't say it's a huge part of this plot, but it works for this fairy tale. And I very much so enjoyed this. This is probably the only retelling that I'm going to keep on my shelf so that I can reread it later. And it is by far my favorite retelling I've ever read thus far. And then the last recommendation is probably no surprise if you've been watching my vlogs. Bird Box by Josh Mallerman. So this was trending last year, I think, when the movie first came out, Bird Box. And I was told that it's a book and that you should read the book and that you should watch the movie. I actually just watched the movie like 2 weeks ago with my husband. We had a movie night and I was like, yeah, you know what? It's on Netflix. I don't want to buy a movie or like rent a movie tonight. So let's just go on Netflix and find a movie that we already have access to. And there were actually quite a few that I wanted to see. And we ended up watching Bird Box. We ended up watching The Help, which I just read recently too. We ended up watching Brain on Fire and a couple other ones because we had a couple movie nights. But Bird Box, the movie was pretty good, and I was like, ooh, maybe I should find the book. So at my local bookstore, if you buy 9 books, you get the 10th free, and they also donate a book to a kid during the entire summer. So I've already gone through one card and got 9 books and got the 10th for free and then donated one. So I'm on my second card. It is halfway full. But this was the free book that I got, technically speaking. So, if you don't know what Bird Box is, it follows this woman who has 2 children through the apocalypse, kind of. But it's a different play on apocalypse. It's not like zombies or your normal apocalypse type books. It's kind of more of this virus that has taken over the world. And if you look at it, you will get infected and you will hurt everyone around you, and then you will kill yourself. And it is very scary. So I went into the book after I watched the movie, and I'm like, okay, I know what to expect. I did not know what to expect. This book, first off, The movie is amazing. Highly recommend the movie if you don't read or if you don't want to read this. Great movie. I would say it does it justice. But you also miss a little bit. And things change a little bit. Not a whole lot, but a little bit in the book. And the book, it's just Josh Mallerman's writing style is so addictive. You just want to keep reading it. So for a readathon, even though I thought there was a lot of writing, like, because the text is pretty small, okay? So I was kind of worried that I wouldn't get through it all in one day. But I did. Well, technically 2 days, but I finished one book, and then I started this one, and then I finished it the next day. But it's like his writing is so addictive, so scary, and I just want more. I just want to live in that world. I mean, not really, because if I lived in that world, I'd have to go everywhere blindfolded. I couldn't look at anything. And my eyesight, oh no. I was actually supposed to go blind. Well, okay, well, I guess it's story time. So, when I was a kid, I had cancer. I've already told you guys a couple times. But I got this virus called the CMV virus, which has a different name, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Samegalovirus, something like that. But it's a virus that most AIDS patients get. And I had it everywhere in my body except for my heart and my eyes. If I would have gotten it in my eyes, I would have gone blind. And so reading Bird Box kind of made me feel like I was blind to the world in a lot of ways. It was a really scary good time. I don't think I've ever read a book in the horror genre, not that I know of, and I've never read a horror book that scared me this much. Well, obviously, if I've never read one, but this scared me so much that I literally, like, threw it on the table, and I'm like, I'm done, I'm not gonna finish this book. I can't finish it. And then I waited a few minutes, kind of calmed my soul down. My heart started beating normally. And then I was just like, oh, you know what? I want to know how this ends. So then I'd pick it up again and start reading. And it was so freaking good. So if you only get one recommendation from me, go read Bird Box. It was amazing. But thank you for hanging out with me during the reading rush. Sorry I'm cutting day 7 short, but I've already read all 7 books that I needed. I guess technically I could still read something borrowed. But look at how small that text is and how big that book is. So I don't think I'll finish it. I don't think I'll finish it before work. So I'm just gonna spend the next little bit editing, getting this video up, editing for my next video that goes up on Friday. That way I don't have to worry about it on the road. And I decided I'm not gonna do the Instagram challenge because I don't wanna. But thanks for hanging out with me and reading with me and talking about books. And I loved my first reading rush. I definitely want to do it again next year. It was craziness. I felt so tired most of the week. And daily vlogging really is hard. It took its toll on me. But I loved it. I loved every second of it. So give this video a big thumbs up if you participated in the reading rush, or if you want to next year. And subscribe to me if you want to see more bookish content from me. Bye, guys. Alright, so I thought I would close out the reading rush vlog by sharing my stats with you, and maybe even showing you the bar graphs of how much I read each day. You know, seems like fun, right? So, from Monday all the way until today, which is Sunday, so the whole entire week, I don't have anything on there for Sunday because I read a few pages of The Truth Beneath the Lies, but not really enough to matter. I just finished it, and so I'm not really going to count that. I'm going to count it for yesterday's reading. I have read 7 books, whoop whoop, one every single day, and I've read 1,832 pages in this week. And then it has all the books that I read, so I'm just going to quickly tell you what they were. Hunted, Beauty and the Beast retelling, 5 stars. The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells, which is a classic, and I can see how it has merit for what it did for the world, like, as far as sci-fi goes. H.G. Wells was a creator of, like, time travel, and he played with the invisibility factor, and we wouldn't have gone to where we are in the sci-fi genre if it weren't for H.G. Wells. But I honestly did not love the book. It was okay. I gave it 3 stars, but I feel like that was pretty generous. It was probably more like a 2-star read for me, honestly. But that's okay. I enjoyed the movie more than the book. Ella Enchanted, I feel like I read that when I was a kid, and I loved it when I was a kid. This time it was kind of missing something. It was a little boring. I didn't love it, but I think it'll be a helpful teaching tool when I become a teacher. So I gave it 4 stars. For me personally, it was probably more like a 3-star book, but because I see potential for teaching, I gave it another point. Then the next one was my favorite book of the week, and that was Bird Box. That was 5-star plus 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 plus. A+ book. Amazing. Scared me to my core and introduced me to the horror genre of books, which I might want to explore more now because of that book. Then Disney's Princess Collection, Stories of Love and Friendship. That was just an all-around cute book. I gave that one 5 stars too. And I think it'll be very helpful when I start teaching. So, yeah, but it's a really adorable fairy tale book. Pretty much. Or like spin-off of fairy tales. Then there's The Truth Beneath the Lies by Amanda Cersei. It was 4 stars because of the twists and turns, but for the first chunk of it, I was kind of bored, honestly. I didn't connect with the characters like I like to in books. I don't know if maybe it was just me, but I didn't love it. That's why it's only got 4 stars. It's probably like a 3.5 or a 4-star read. But I just pushed it up to a 4-star. It's probably more like 3.5. And the last book I read was The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. I gotta be honest with you. The first half of the book was kind of boring, and nothing really happened. I guess you have to have that kind of background when you read historical fiction, but I was bored with it. And then Bruno finds the hole in the fence, and okay, and then the stuff starts happening, and ooh, I just fell in love with it. So I gave that one a 4 stars as well. So overall, it was a pretty good reading week. But that's it. Thanks for hanging out with